video here from ABC News shows that, well, the police narrative surrounding their response to that shooting has a few inconsistencies, has a few holes in it. In fact, according to this new video, a 911 operator was broadcasting details from kids that had been calling in who were making these frantic calls as the massacre was unfolding. They did a pretty big report on it. I'm going to show you some video from that. Let's take a look.
As the Justice Department starts to review law enforcement's response to the deadly school shooting at Robb Elementary, new video obtained by ABC News shows the terrifying moments after that gunman opened fire.
Okay, they're getting the kids out.
Police officers breaking windows, trying to evacuate the children, and the video also capturing what appears to be dispatch audio. Sharing with officers in the field, 911 operators are on the phone with a student trapped in a classroom that the gunman had entered.
We do have a child on row 12. Are we able to, is there anybody inside of the building at this? The child is advising he is in the room full of victims at this moment.
All right, so now, again, you saw that room full of victims. The child is in the room filled with victims. Is anybody inside of the building? Well, now there were people inside of the building. They were waiting outside the door. Again, kids, during this event, desperately calling the police for help. We're alive. We're alive. Some of us are still alive. We need help. And the cops outside the they were either waiting outside the door or they were getting their own kids out. I mean, the utter cravenness of the Uvalde police is just absolutely unmatched. They knew they had a chance to save the children, but they refused, and then they decided to lie about it. I mean, and look, Texas Department of Public Safety spokesman Stephen McCraw repeatedly told reporters during a press conference on Friday that the cops had waited an hour because the incident commander considered the suspect a, quote, barricaded subject, and that there was time and that there were no more children at risk. But we know that's not true. We know that's not true. There were children in there, and they were absolutely at risk. They were dying. Some were bleeding out. Some were getting shot for calling the police. And they did nothing. So now I'm going to go to this press conference, some of that anyway, where McCraw contradicts that assertion that, oh, no more children were at risk. In fact, here it is.
She identified herself and whispered she's in room 112. At 12:10, she called back in room 12, advised there were multiple dead. Again at 12:16, she called back and said there was 8 to 9 students alive.
ABC News learning the gunman was inside the school for 77 gut-wrenching minutes before law enforcement breached the locked door with a key and killed the shooter.
All right, so more details, by the way. There was, again, many calls throughout that 77 minutes. At 12:16, that same girl called back, said that there was 8 to 9 students alive. At 12:19, a 911 call was made, and another person in the room, in room 111, calls. At 12:21, again, there was another call with the 911 call saying that 3 shots were fired. At 12:36, a 911 call lasted for 21 seconds. The initial caller called back. A student had called back and was told to stay on the line and be very quiet. She told 911 that he shot the door. Approximately 12:43 and 12:47, she asked 911, the police, yeah, it's not very clear from this article, but at 12:46, she said she could not stay quiet, that she could hear the police next door. At 12:50, that she couldn't sit still. She could hear the police next door. At 12:50, the shots are fired that can be heard with 911. A 911 call at 12:51. It appears that that's when the officers were moving children out of the room. at that time, first of all, that call was outside before the call cuts off. So again, not super clear here from the notes of these calls, but you can see that it was a large amount of time in which you had multiple calls coming in, sometimes multiple from the same person, other people calling in from the two different classrooms that had kids in it. And these are the two classrooms that were conjoined that had the gunman in them, going back and forth. So there were definite survivors there. And yet, in between the time of the first call from inside the classroom and when the Customs and Border Patrol agents came into the room, you had 48 minutes. 48 minutes that they knew that kids were still alive and were trapped in those rooms. And for 48 minutes, they did absolutely nothing. Now, how many do you think could have died as a result of that? How many were that were injured initially and succumbed to those injuries later? And how many of those could have been saved had police acted sooner? We don't know. We don't know the answer. We'll never know, because police decided that their lives were more important, that they didn't want to put themselves at risk. Oh, you don't understand. We could have been shot. We could have been hurt. We could have been killed. Oh, you're going to ask us to go into a room with a guy with a gun? No, we're not going to do that. There are 19 officers stacked outside in Uvalde, told the Border Patrol, don't go in. Don't go in. No, it's not safe. It's not safe. They could have been hurt. Border Patrol actually decided, after waiting for way too long, okay, we're going to just go in ourselves. Look, police, the Uvalde police especially, absolutely proved their uselessness and their cowardice, which is absolutely on display here. And by the way, they were very concerned about being shot. Oh, they could have been shot. They could have been killed. But wait a minute. Back in 2018, yeah, 4 years ago. 4 years ago. So it's been 4 years. They received grants to upgrade their body armor. In fact, here is that. The Uvalde Police Department on Facebook. The Uvalde Police Department is pleased to announce that we have completed the process and been awarded grant funds to the Office of the Governor to outfit every Uvalde police officer with level 4 body armor. Level 4 body armor. Wow. This important piece of legislation provided us funding to equip police officers with body armor rated to stop rifle rounds. In 2017, Senate Bill 12, which passed into law, 23 million rifle-resistant body armor grants were awarded to 453 jurisdictions around the state. Thanks goes out to those who supported Senate Bill 12 and everyone who supports those who work to keep us safe. Blue lives matter. So, these guys, nice little cosplay there, posing with the armor. They had level 4 rifle round stopping body armor. And they still waited outside for 77 minutes. While children who do not have level 4 body armor, well, I mean, because they're school kids, they were gunned down. Absolute colossal waste of money. This is the town that spent 40% of its budget on the police. I'd love to hear police bootlickers right now who claim that, oh no, if you defund the police, then you're just going to have inept, cowardly, unprepared police who will refuse to do their jobs. I'd love to have them explain how fully funding the police to the tune of 40% of the budget plus grants for level 4 body armor led to cowardly, unprepared police, as we've seen. They didn't even follow protocol, by the way, as a lot of you point out. The latest protocol is to engage the shooter, whether or not you have backup. And they didn't. And look, they absolutely had the arms, they had the armor, they had the training, they had the numbers in order to take out one guy armed with an assault weapon. And it seems like if they were so scared of the weapon that he was using, don't you think that they'd be on the side of trying to reintroduce an assault weapons ban? Look, they chose not to do it. Not because they didn't think there were kids left to save. They obviously knew it. But instead, they decided to put their lives, their own lives, and their children's lives, by the way, over other people's lives. That's who the cops are in America. And it's a training issue. They are trained to take absolutely no risk. And if they are threatened, if made to feel threatened at all by someone who's unarmed, or maybe has a BB gun, a little black kid with a BB gun, for example, or knife, then they will immediately shoot you dead within seconds of arriving to the scene. But if there's someone else, if they go to a scene where someone else has a gun, oh, that's when they hesitate. That's when they say, oh, no, I don't want to put myself at risk to get shot at. No, because it's our lives that are in danger. Screw everybody else. That's when we hunker down and we wait. That's who the cops are.